Good morning, junkguysdfw.net. I'm here in Fort Worth, Texas, about to leave to work this morning. I got off the phone earlier with one of my friends that owns a junk removal service, and wow, what a nightmare of having employees, how employees can destroy a small business. A small business owner's dreams, but not only that, his expectations out of his employees. And employees, they play such a crucial role in shaping a company's brand and reputation. I made some notes here on my computer, by the way, that really he was talking about, and how an employee can negatively impact a small business in this junk removal industry. Number one, poor customer service, right? Poor customer service. Employees who provide subpar customer service can damage your reputation, they can damage your brand, and consistently doing that poor customer service, how we can send a message to other employees. Number two, mishandling or damaging customer property. Not only customer property, but your property. He was telling me about how one of his employees tore off a mirror off his truck that was $200. Oh, I'll replace it. I'll give you the $200. He doesn't know that that mirror is way more than $200 because it got a heating control. It does a lot more than just reflect, right? But in the junk removal industry, it's so essential to handle customers' belongings the right way with care. And if an employee damages it, it costs you money. And this is what happens to my friend. They're damaging his reputation. They're damaging the customer's property. And long term, here and here, a little money here and here, it makes a big difference. Number three, inconsistent, and this is a big one, inconsistent and unreliable service. Timeliness, he said, timeliness, consistency are such a crucial part to this industry. Employee frequently arrives late for jobs, he misses schedules, he misses pickups, which was one of the big ones, or he even fails through to the commitments of what it takes to be a junk removal employee. And it can honestly lead to customer dissatisfaction long term. And it gives a negative perception, especially if you're in a small town, a negative perception to potential customers, and ultimately rumors about how you give bad brand and marketing. It builds your business as having a bad reputation, if you know what I mean. Number four, disregarding just the smallest things, like don't do this, don't do that. Junk removal, it involves handling hazardous materials sometimes, heavy objects, and just disregarding those safety protocols. Hey, you should use a dolly for this. You should, use a back belt for this. You should, wear harnesses for this. And just disregarding that, a bad employee, when he does that, customers can tell and other employees can tell, which is inconsistent with other people watching you. In other words, when you're negative and you're being you're disregarding safety protocols or just safety things that you put in. Hey, always when you park the truck, put the parking brake up, and you're just parking the truck and jumping out. That's showing other employees, oh, this guy doesn't care. Why should I care? You lead by example, okay? You lead by example. And number five, unprofessional appearance and behavior, how you act. And this is the one that I wrote down really good. I want to read what he said. Employees who present themselves unprofessionally, such as dressing inappropriately, using foul language, behaving in a disrespectful manner, can leave a negative impression to other employees, but other customers ultimately. It reflects poorly on your brand and can harm your business reputation. It just, when you have a bad apple, it can ruin the whole basket. Okay, it can just ruin how everybody is working for your small business. And sometimes it takes up so much of your time to get another employee. For instance, I'm going to tell you, you post a job online or you post it on Facebook, whatever you do. You interview the guy, you answer the phone, you tell him to come in. That's wasting time. You interview the guy, and then you train the guy and you tell him the safety protocols, you tell him how to give good customer service, and you spent 2 to 3 days or 2 to 3 weeks doing this to this new employee, and then all of a sudden he turns out to be a bad lemon. He turns out to give your business a bad reputation. And this, then after that, what happens? Theft, loss of assets, damage to customer trust. Maybe there's some legal consequences down the road. I always think of negative employee morale. That's a big one. It's theft within the workplace that can create a toxic work environment and affecting employee morale and productivity when it comes to one bad apple, and overall jobs dissatisfaction. It's no good. And to mitigate most of these risks that you take when you hire someone, it's crucial to establish clear expectations, provide proper training. It's so important to give proper, but know what you expect out of these employees. Know what you're gonna get out of these employees. I mean, especially if a guy comes in and you're hiring this new employee, he comes in, oh, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. Hey, instead of doing this, maybe you can do that. That's already telling you that that's a bad apple. He doesn't want to do the things that you're telling him. He wants to do new things, right? He wants to change your culture at your job place. And instead of just going out there working and making an honest buck, he's going to tell you how to change that pattern, how to change the way you do things anyway, okay? And there's so many small things that you can do when you're training an employee by giving them what you expect out of them, by letting them know here's the rules, here's the safety protocols, and overall your integrity, what you stand for, and the professionalism that it is in your job. And just talking to my friend, I can tell that he spends a lot of time with employees, and he's got a lot of problems with employees. And I'm just like, dude, sometimes it's better just to subcontract some of these jobs, these big jobs, to other companies and make almost the same amount. Now, I will tell you this, when you subcontract jobs to other companies or other people, you're never gonna make the actual amount that you're going to do. But I'll tell you something, you lose that liability and you lose that headache with the employees and with the job site, okay? There are so many little things that hiring employees intake, but long term, it's just being able to control these guys and asking them, and some of these guys, they're uncontrollable. He was telling me his story overall was that this guy, they lost a job to another company because this guy arrived late. So they had a scheduled job at a certain time, and this guy ends up showing up like 1 hour late. By the time the customer had hired another company. The guy gets mad, starts cussing at the customer. They lose a $3,000 job. He's fired on site. He's like, hey, you can't talk to the customer like that. And it was two ladies, and it's a bad thing for your business. It gives you a bad reputation, and it's just overall for your brand, it makes you look bad. So always be careful when you when you hire employees, because overall, one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch for y'all guys, okay? This is the destruction of how an employee can leave your business. Thanks, guys.